Chances are, if you're watching this, you might be in the middle of a type 1 diabetes diagnosis for your child. Or maybe you're trying to understand what's ahead. Unfortunately, I've been there and I know exactly how overwhelming this period of time can feel. I remember the exact moment when I heard the words, "Your son has type 1 diabetes." It felt like my world stopped. But what I didn't realize at the time was that as scary as this journey seemed, I would figure it out. And you will too. In this video, I want to share exactly what I wish I knew when my son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at 18 months old. Things that would have made those first few days, weeks, and months just a little bit easier. Before my son's diagnosis, I knew something just wasn't right. He was drinking more, wetting through his diapers, and things just really seemed off with him, especially mood-wise. We took him to the doctor, and within hours, we were in the ER hearing the words, "Your son has type 1 diabetes." Despite my background as a pharmacist, in that moment, I felt completely unprepared, like I had been thrown into a world that I didn't understand. Now I'm going to share 7 things I wish I knew back when my son was diagnosed with T1D. Number 1, you are not alone, even though it might seem that way at first. Because I didn't know anyone in my personal life that was dealing with having a small child with type 1 diabetes, I thought that I was the only one dealing with it. But I quickly realized that there are thousands of parents that are dealing with these same challenges. I actually recently found out that both Chrissy Teigen and John Legend's son, as well as Usher's sons, have type 1 diabetes. I'm not a huge celebrity follower, but just to know that someone else out there is dealing with these challenges brings me a little bit of comfort sometimes. The first days feel isolating, like no one understands. The best thing that I did was joining T1D parent groups, following others who are also on this journey, and connecting with diabetes coaches. Don't go through this alone. Find support on this journey today. And if you're feeling lost right now, just know that you don't have to have it all figured out, because the first few days are blurred, and that's okay. I thought I would remember every single detail from our 6-day admission from the hospital, but of course I didn't. Those first few days were a blur, and that's normal. The hospital stay is so overwhelming. So many things are being thrown at you at once. You won't remember everything, and that's okay. Ask if you can record explanations or take pictures of key info. So if the hospital felt overwhelming, the thought of managing diabetes at home may seem even more overwhelming. But here's the thing. T1D management is overwhelming, but you don't have to master it overnight. I thought I had to get everything perfect immediately because, my son's life is now in my hands. If it wasn't before, it definitely was now. I'm being a organ and a pancreas for him, a full pancreas for him. It took me months to feel confident. And even now, I am still learning. You will make mistakes. Every T1D parent does. What matters is learning and adjusting. Focus on one skill at a time, such as carb counting first, then pre-bolusing, then tracking patterns. And just when you start to feel more in control, your child will surprise you. Your child will adapt faster than you think. I was worried that my son would not adjust well to all of the pokes and prods. In reality, he adjusted way better than I did. Most kids accept change quicker than expected. I was shocked when my son started reminding me about blood sugar checks in his own little way, saying like, "Ooh, poke mommy, time for pokes." Always remember to stay calm because your child takes their cues from you. But while children adapt quickly, blood sugar management is a completely different story. Blood sugars in the beginning can be a complete roller coaster, and that is normal. I thought I could keep his numbers in range all the time, but in reality, there is no such thing as perfect blood sugars. Some days everything works, and other days it is a hot mess. I used to think that I was failing when my son's numbers would spike, but now I focus on trends, not single numbers. I try my best to track patterns instead of reacting to every single high or low. And once you start seeing those patterns, you realize food and timing play a much bigger role in blood sugar management than you think. Thought giving insulin was enough. but I now know that timing matters just as much as the insulin. Early on, I would dose after meals or right at that first bite of food because that's what the hospital or our endo told us to do, to later wonder why my son's blood sugar kept spiking. Now I pre-bolus or give insulin a head start prior to introducing food and adjust meal timing, which can make a huge difference. If you're comfortable and if you feel it's safe to do so, try pre-bolusing 5 to 10 minutes before you give your child a meal and track what happens. And while those changes help stabilize blood sugar, there is one thing that never fully goes away. The fear does get smaller, and managing diabetes in your child does get easier, but the fear never fully goes away. I mistakenly thought that I would one day stop worrying. At first, I was constantly checking numbers, afraid of both highs and lows, but over time, I built confidence and systems that made it manageable. Instead of fearing what might happen, focus on what you can control. And if you're feeling scared right now, I want to leave you with this. That feeling of overwhelm, all of us in this unfortunate club that we did not want to join, we feel it too. And you are not alone. It's okay if this feels impossible right now, because little by little, you will figure it out and your child will be okay. What's one thing about your child's diagnosis that surprised you? I'd love to hear from you and have you as part of my community. Stick around for more T1D management tips, and I hope to see you in the next video.